Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic point aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailing man, the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour.
Hi, we're here at Lake Hartwell today, and we are going to be teaching you how to rig a Club 420 sailboat.
I'm Liam Cunningham, and I will be instructing you throughout the video.
And I'm Mandy Hayden, and I'll be assisting you.
First, we'll show you what equipment you'll need to rig a 420. You'll need a life jacket for safety, a rudder, and a tiller. Over here are your sails. You'll need a mainsail, which is the largest sail, and the smaller jib sail. Be sure to make note of the bolt rope that is sewn into the sail along the foot and the luff of the sail.
Next, we'll teach you the basic parts of the sailboat. You can also follow along in your manual. The front part is the bow. In the back, we have the stern, and in the center is the hull. We also have the mast, which is this long one right here, and the boom, this piece right here. Currently, I'm standing on the port side. Now that's the left side of the boat. Over here, we have the starboard side.
You will notice 3 black cork plugs. Place them each into the port side, the center, and the starboard side of the boat. Off the back of the stern, there is a black plug hanging from a line. Place this in the back of the boat and give it a quarter turn to lock.
Take the tiller with the black handle on top and place it into the rudder housing. Then take the red rope and place it into the cleat, pull it tightly, and pull up.
To do this, we'll first have to uncleat the halyard from the port side of the mast. If you follow this up the mast, you'll notice that it's connected to a metal wire. This metal wire is held to the bow with a shackle. Undo this shackle. Now, taking the head of the jib, you'll notice that there's a small metal loop at the top. Place the shackle through this loop and lock the shackle in place. The shackle is locked when this lever arm is snugly in the center of the body of the shackle. Now, follow the leech of the sail, or the front of the sail, down to the very bottom or the foot. There's a metal wire that runs through the sail and is sewn in. At the bottom of this wire at the foot, there's another small metal loop. At the bow of the boat, take your small metal loop in the foot of the sail and place it in the center of the metal chain plate. You'll notice a small pin which is then placed through the holes at the rear of the chain plate. Now that the jib has been secured on both ends, we are now ready to hoist the sail. Before we hoist it though, please make note of the black block or pulley located at the bottom port side of the mast. We want to feed the jib halyard from stern to bow or back to front through this pulley and start pulling up on the halyard itself. As we pull up on the halyard, you will notice that there's another black pulley similar to the one found at the base of the mast. At this point, we want to feed it from bow to stern or front to back through the pulley. Continue pulling down on it until you have minimum tension in the jib. To correctly tension the jib, have your partner slowly pull on the forestay. This will allow you to pull down harder on the jib halyard and to cleat it off around on the port side of the mast. The forestay has gone slack and all the tension is in the wire inside. Notice the 2 jib sheets attached to the clew of the sail. Take one of these lines and feed it aft or back in between the mast and the side stay and feed it through the small metal circle known as a fair lead. Now tie a figure 8 knot in the end of this line. As a tip, leave a few inches of tag end at the end of the figure 8 so you can easily grab the jib sheet when sailing. Also, repeat this same step on the starboard side as well. For demonstration purposes, we have removed the jib in order to give you proper angles for setup. Begin by uncleating the mainsail halyard from the starboard side of the mast. Notice that as you lower the halyard, the boom also lowers in the boat. Lower the boom all the way inside the boat and have your partner take the free end of the halyard. Pull down on the blue line, which is known as the outhaul, connected to the boom. This is tied to the other end of the halyard with a square knot. Simply reverse the steps to undo the square knot. With your partner securing both ends of the halyard, start feeding the bolt rope in the foot of the sail into the groove located in the top of the boom. Continue feeding the sail along the boom until the entire bolt rope is fully secured. With the foot of the sail secured in the boom, come up to the front of the boom, or the tack of the mainsail as it's also known, and secure this grommet through the pin located on the boom. Give it a quarter or half turn in order to lock it in place. Now we'll turn our attention back to the blue outhaul line, which was earlier untied from the one end of the main halyard. The outhaul controls the amount of tension along the foot of the sail. To set it up, take the tag end and pass it through the port side of the grommet on the sail. Pull it through, and then feed the tag end of the line through the port side of the shackle located at the very end of the mast. Hold this tight and cleat it off on the small cleat that is located on the starboard side of the mast. With the foot of the sail now secured, take the aft end of the main halyard back from your partner. This end was originally tied to the outhaul. Feed it through the head of the sail and tie a small bowline, which we showed you earlier on in the video. Pull tight on all ends, and it is now secured. Starting at the head of the mainsail, start feeding the bolt rope in the luff of the sail into the groove in the mast. Have your partner pull down as you feed this bolt rope in. Your partner will pull down until the sail is about 3/4 of the way up the mast. Notice the metal ring that is tied into the main halyard. Take your main halyard, wrap it around the far horn of the cleat on the starboard side of the mast. Take the tag end of the line and place it through the metal ring. This has created a purchase which allows the mainsail to be easily raised the rest of the way up the mast. Continue pulling down on the main halyard until there is no slack left in the front end of the sail. Now cleat off the main halyard and the mainsail is in. Now that both sails have been raised, the boat plugs are in, and the rudder and tiller have been assembled, it is now time to place the boat in the water. Slide it off the dock and turn it sideways to the dock. You can use the side stay to hold on to it before you begin sailing. Have your crew step inside and lower the centerboard by pulling on the line located on the port side of the trunk. Cleat it off by pushing down into the clam cleat. Have your crew come to the stern of the boat and place the rudder and tiller assembly over the pins, locking them into place.